Hello everyone, it's Rosin, and welcome back to another fun-filled episode of Build and Chill. So I got a kind of special episode in comparison. I have right here a Model Comprehend limited edition Nightingale model. Now the Nightingale is a mobile suit that was piloted by Char in the novelization of Char's counterattack. Well, it's a little more complicated than that. So there was a novel made by Tomino, grandfather of Gundam, wrote the original series, Zeta, Double Zeta, Char's Counterattack, all that. He wrote a novel called High Streamer, and the second half of that novel was adapted to film, and that's what Char's Counterattack is. Now, his original script, because he wanted to make some changes for a movie adaptation, he thought that would be proper, was rejected, and he was like, well, I might as well make this into a novel too. So he wrote a novel called Mobile Suit Gundam Beltorchica's Children, or like Char's Counterattack, Beltorchica's Children, something like that. And the Nightingale comes from there. Instead of the, instead of the Suzabi, Char gets this gigantic mobile suit. Well, not gigantic in terms of this kit, though. This is a bootleg kit. This is not an official Gunpla. This is made by a company called Model Comprehend, and boy does it show, because the plastic does not feel super great. I don't know if I've explained this yet, but the only reason I was ever interested in this is because the Nightingale is my favorite mobile suit ever, but because it is so big and weird, there's a very limited amount of any sort of actual official merchandise for it, so, and also, I was kind of interested by the fact this is limited edition. I remember reading somewhere that this specific kit, which comes like pre-painted in this metallic red color, otherwise it's just kind of like a normal reddish plastic color. I think there's only like 500 or 1,000 of these, or some number like that, but there's not super many of these. Nevertheless, you can purchase it for like 35 bucks, I think, at the USA Gundam store, which I'll go ahead and I will link in the description. Now, here's my problem with this. Like I said, the plastic does not fit together well at all. This was such a pain in the ass. These little, I think they're technically called the wing binders. I'm not sure. These things are such a pain to get into those little shoulder holes. They just don't want to go. And it feels like you're breaking it when you're shoving them in. I did the stupid thing of putting on the little spikes on this before I put in the thing, and that was a bad idea too, because, you get less of a good grip on it. And also, some of those spikes really didn't want to go in well either. I'm not sure if it has something to do with the fact that, like, it came pre-painted like this, because I bought the limited edition version, quote-unquote. Yeah, so I have no idea what the deal was with that, because I've never seen any reference anywhere else. At least I watched a few reviews beforehand from people who bought just the regular kit, and they didn't seem to have that issue, so I don't know if maybe it's just I got a bad one, or if it's just with the special metallic red one. But yeah, I guess that's what I get for buying bootleg. Also, the box it comes in is just fucking hilarious. I don't have it handy, sadly, but it just has terrible English all over it that will make you laugh. It actually smells kind of funny, and I'm not sure if I should be worried about that, but, yeah, it's just goofy, and it was also called the Nightingale, like there's a space between Nightin and Gale, so they could, like, dodge the copyright bullshit, which is fun. So there we go, I finally got one of them in, and now the second one, I think one of them was a little bit easier to cram in there than the other, so oh, there we go, and it already fell. Yeah, it took forever to get these in, and, like, not just in so that it would rest, but also in a way that, like, if I poked at it, it wouldn't fall the fuck out. Just a massive pain. So there we go. Now we got the base model. Now I actually know the Nightingale is kind of controversial because of, just a lot of people don't like how bulky it is. It really does look like a demon or a monster or something, which I think is actually a really good type of mobile suit design for Char, considering the events of Char's Counterattack. But yeah, I don't know, I just always like it just because of how dumb and big it looks, and just the name Nightingale adds something to it. Like, that's such a cool name, and you don't often, like, when media references happen and birds are involved, you don't often get like Nightingale. It's always like hawk or eagle or falcon or, you know, the easy shit like that. Nightingale is pretty underutilized, so, or, you know, raven, crow, that sort of thing. All the cool birds, but nightingales are pretty fucking cool, let's be serious here. So the shield is a little hard to get into, but it was probably the least problematic of the parts. If I recall, the gun and hand piece are just all one piece altogether, or at least it comes that way. And you can go ahead and just cram that in here. Now, the arms feel a little loose on my kit, or not necessarily loose, but just in, like, you can't really lift them up and have them stay up. You can see it's drooping when I try to lift it up, unless they're just completely empty, so that's kind of a disappointment too. So really, in terms of posability, all you really got is this one base form. You can see me get up and walk the fuck away from my desk because I'm just so fed up. But yeah, this is what it looks like up close, just real quick, front, and it's kind of what the details on the back look like. Which, to be fair, the details on the kit are really nice, but it's kind of rough. Now this, on the other hand, is the NXEdge style. Once again, not a Gunpla, but this is official merchandise. NXEdge style is a figure type line, I guess you'll call it, from Bandai, and it's a lot better quality. It's, like I said, it's official, so you would hope so. And the packaging's actually eerily similar to the Nightingale in terms of how you put it together and stuff. You put the separate little wing pieces on, and then you have a gun and you have a shield. And actually, this one comes with the like 2 beam tomahawks that combine together to create the saber, which is super cool. And if you're in the position I'm in, well, okay. So to be fair, I don't regret buying the MC Comprehend one, or the model Comprehend one, because I really like the Nightingale, and I do like the metallic red, and I think it looks pretty cool even just standing there, but it was very, very painful getting that fucking thing to just assemble properly. So I can't really recommend it unless you're like me and you just stupidly really like the Nightingale. If you're gonna go for a Nightingale anything that's cheap, I would go for this. It's really easy to put together. Things will just go into place how they should. It comes with, I think all NXEdge style kits come with these, so don't quote me on it, but it comes with these hexagonal bases. You get 3 of them that you can put the kit onto, and then also you have these little clear poles. So if you have another, or even if you just want to stack 2 of your hexagon bases on top of one another, you put 3 of those poles in, and then you can stack another hexagon tile on top of that and create like dioramas or something like that with your bases, which is super cool. And this one can lift his gun up, which is really nice. So you can have him doing a cool shooting pose, which is what I opted for. Just something a bit more dynamic than what I had with the model Comprehend model. And technically, I guess this isn't really an SD kit, just because it's, you know, just a line of action figure, I guess, that, you know, is supposed to look like this. But, I mean, it has the SD proportions, so closest we're probably going to get to an official Nightingale SD kit, so. Now, you do get these tiny little poles that have little, I guess, swivels at the top, where you can attach some of the spikes, which are technically their funnels. You can shoot out, and then they fly around and shoot lasers. So you can kind of replicate that by having these transparent parts where you just put on the little funnels to the tip, and then you can just swivel them forward so they look like they're shooting out or flying around or something. And you can have them kind of out there like that and off of the kit, which is super cool. And if you just want, you can leave them on, put them back on. And here's what they look like on my desk. So I have that one doing a cool aerial shooting pose with the funnels out. And it's looking pretty good. That so far that arm hasn't been drooping down or anything. It's holding that shooting pose pretty well. Only thing I think I'd say about this kit that I don't like is I don't really care for the color of the beam saber. It's kind of weird. I wish it was something that was a bit less like metallic-y looking and just a bit more like bright laser color, but I don't know, maybe it's just me. So yeah, I ended up being pretty happy with both kits. It's just that the bootleg one was a pain in the ass to assemble. So once again, can really only recommend it if you want to get something that is, you know, for big Nightingale fans or something like that. But yeah, I highly recommend getting the NXEdge style, even if you're not the biggest Nightingale fan. It's just a super great little figure, and has a lot of nice options to it, which I'll also link to that one in the description too. So I hope you enjoyed this episode of Build and Chill. Have a good day.